So I'm standing with my husband at the top of the wooden porch of our church hall, which is really a mobile home, and we're talking with a monk who's visiting from Pennsylvania. He's in black, and the loose folds of his robe billow out in the 6 o'clock sunset wind like a duster in a very pious Wild West. And this father, he's talking about what a comfort the Mother of God is, something that, much like algebra, I don't really understand. She held God in her body, he says, for months, like a fire breather who couldn't open her mouth. We can't look out the sun without hurting our eyes, but she covered the one who made the sun like a patio shade. She shows us the way we can house God in ourselves. She's like an example. And I remember being a senior in high school English and the teacher pulling out a yellowing paper from her desk saying, "This was written by a student in 1986 and I'd like you to look at as an example of something that you can aspire to." And I wonder, if I'd actually looked at it, if I would have seen Mary smiling, her red cloak falling around her wrist as she reached out. She's like a best friend, he says, especially to monastics like me, and I wonder if he means because they don't have wives. When we see pictures of her, she's always holding out her hand like she's showing the way to her son. And I watch his kudzu vine hair squirm out from under his black cap. And I sort through bilateral equations and unknown variables and trains leaving Baltimore at 60 miles an hour, and I twist the toe of my boot into the wood and I look. He grins at us often, and he gestures small with wry remarks, and when he gives me a blessing, he squeezes my hand like I were his favorite niece, though I thought he'd be skittish to touch me. And though I figured he'd just be lonely, he looks bright as a wedding day in June. I picture Our Lady of Sorrows, quite joyful, donning an apron to pour him a drink after a hard day's work, and I bet he swallows every drop because he seems so well watered. The sun goes down and lays a layer of orange light that catches his teeth as though he held fire flapping like a bird in his mouth. Everybody needs a good friend, he says. I met some monks the other day. Has anybody ever met a monk in here?
Not in Teague.
Oh, yeah. Not in